Hello, girls. The topic which we will discuss today is flow of energy. Sun in the biological world is the only source of energy for all the ecosystem on earth. Solar energy reaches the earth in the form of X-rays, UV rays, visible light and infrared rays. Of the incoming solar energy, incident solar radiation, about 30% is reflected back to the space, whereas 20% is absorbed by the Earth's atmosphere. Out of the 20% solar radiation, only 50% is available for photosynthesis on Earth, and it is known as photosynthetically active radiation or PAR. The solar radiant energy, which is entrapped by the plants, is then converted into chemical energy. The chemical energy is then utilized by the plant for the preparation of food. The food which is prepared by the plant is then utilized by the plant itself for their growth and development. The remaining food which is not utilized by the plant remains stored in the leaves. This stored food is then received by the herbivores on feeding. The herbivores then convert the plant energy or plant organic compound into animal organic compound or energy. The herbivores utilize some of the energy for respiration, for its growth and development. The remaining energy is stored in its body and it is obtained by the next consumer, that is primary carnivores. The primary carnivores to utilize some of the energy for its growth and development during respiration, whereas the remaining energy is received by the top carnivores. Not only the energy is utilized during respiration, but some of the energy dissipates in the form of heat, and some unused food are utilized by the decomposers on their death. The sun radiant energy, only 1% is utilized by the plant, as we know. 10% is received by the herbivores, 10% is received by the carnivores, and next 10% is received by the top carnivores. So this is known as 10% law. The flow of energy in the ecosystem also follows the laws of thermodynamics. According to first law of thermodynamics, energy can not be created or destroyed but can be transformed from one form to another. So here the energy is transformed from producers to herbivores, herbivores to consumers, then to decomposers. According to second law of energy, some of the energy is lost as heat. So here we can, just now I have told you that not only some of the energy is utilized during respiration, but some of the energy dissipates as the form of heat. Okay, so we can see that the flow of energy follows 10% law, also follows the laws of thermodynamics. The next topic is trophic level. Trophic means food. Here each level we can see here, that is plant, herbivores, carnivores, primary carnivores and top carnivores, they each form a trophic level. The plant is food for herbivores. The herbivores itself is a food for carnivores. The primary carnivores, the primary carnivores itself is food for the top carnivores. So here each level forms the forms the food. So they are known at each level is known as trophic level. The next topic is food chain. So when here we can see that the producers are eaten by herbivores, herbivores are eaten by carnivores. So there is a flow of energy, a sequential flow of energy where the each trophic level is eaten or being eaten by. Okay, so this is the food chain. The food chain is further divided into two types, the grazing food chain and the detritus food chain. The grazing food chain starts with the producers and ends in the top consumers, whereas detritus food chain starts with dead decaying matter, enters the detritus food feeders, then the that is microorganisms, then the detritivores, and then enters into the ecosystem when the detritivores are further eaten by birds or the carnivores. So in this way, nutrients travel into the ecosystem. Next topic is food web. In an ecosystem, there is not a we do not find a single food chain, but we find a series of food chain. So here we can see all the food chains are linked together. Let us see an example. Plant. It is eaten by rat, rabbit, grasshoppers, deer. Rat is eaten by snakes, small birds, large birds. Rabbit is eaten by snake. Rat is further eaten by small birds. Rabbit can be eaten by large birds. Grasshoppers eaten by frog. Frog is eaten by snakes or small birds. Deer is being eaten by lion or fox. Bird can be eaten by the fox. Small birds feed on fish. Okay, so here we can see a series or a number of food chains, they are linked together. So this linking of several food chain forms a web which is known as food web. In food chain, here the options for food for the carnivores are one. But here in webs, food web, we can see that food options for the carnivores or the consumers are several. So they give options for food. Somehow, if any of these herbivores gets extinct, then they will have other source of food. In food chain, smaller the food chain, more efficiently it will work. Here, larger the food web, that is, more food chains are linked together, more efficiently it will work. So I therefore end my topic here. We will discuss the next topic in your next video. Thank you.